just make sure when you verify, turn off the volume, otherwise it'll be Cool.
I'll check out what you got the better computer. It's actually perfect. And already the bottom shell was actually going to have that.
Really?
This is the 2000. Oh, you're perfect. You know, that's well, I'm no longer at him. Oh, you're not? Oh, hey. What are you now? I'm in between. Oh, I see. Yeah, I wasn't there. That's another one. As a member of something that works, and we'll see what one of them really open. Oh, sure. Looking for somebody to hold out West Coast. Oh, yeah. Right. I know the guy who used to be at yes, he's now a week right? It's on LinkedIn. Oh, thank you. Oh, I actually copied the book file. I remember seeing a link to the live. Oh, we can schedule. Yeah, I just. I'm gonna have her. Oh no, it's it's your hand.
Sorry, yeah.
Slide it in your leg. Okay, yeah, but.
Yeah, I was just letting up when I
They don't trade. They'll make that decision. Say, for no leave Saturday. Because I can make better at Scott.
Right there, it's like almost there easy access right there.
And there is, but it's just that's a waste of law. Delicate. We can bring some chairs down. I was thinking of let's.
The goal is to not have recording facing everybody for an hour.
I wasn't bothered.
Yeah, I mean, yes, probably some changes, but not like basic. Right? You tell me.
That's good.
I wasn't too together.
Can we interrupt you? Yes.
Right?
Prayer, message, and then skit. And then after the skit, you can instantly
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, you want to use? You can either.
problem that costs. Sure understand.
If you're just eating cupcakes right now, move on up into the red seat so you can eat them, so we don't have to be Nazis on the cupcakes. So please move up off the floor if you're going to be eating cupcakes. Thank you.
What's up, my man?
Last minute adjustment. No worries. So they're going to put warm amber here. I didn't know until right now. But no, we don't. They said don't move. But whenever they introduce, you could introduce them. Okay. Just show them. Not that long. You're welcome to know this. I just. So actually, Ben, it comes into the private feedback. I think, oh no, this is not live. No, I mean it's not a real time. Yes, it's live.
Because he's part of the beginning.
I've already finished myself. So how many years do you have to give it? Oh, so I definitely did that. Secret was one level above. Sorry. Nine people are watching. One people is watching your channel. Yeah, I'm one of them. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now two viewers. Let's see that. Two more. Exactly. Back. I love you, baby. Love you, real.
Here's where we are.
It's amazingly good.
It's a fun
We should
sit down.
we cannot sit. Well, we can I mean, it's good to know you can't edit.
Yeah, I would do it.
Would you like to kiss my feet?
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna do that later on.
No time. So since we're here, you lead the way. I know what I'm saying. You're the person on the stage with the skin. And and Debbie. I'm gonna go let Debbie know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad time.
Exactly. No, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
You're on video.
Yeah, I'll see ya.
Excellent. Well, you got it.
You should leave Justin black. I wonder if Frank is leaving his laptop.
Oh, he's going to come back over there. Do whatever, swing around.
This is probably useless, so I can probably save that.
Yeah, the delay is not bad. So I said that or just in case. So we don't back
Well, at least it didn't rain.
It's getting fun. It's getting rain.
Hope you're not waiting on me.
What's this?
Folder.
That's all that. I didn't sign up for that. That's right. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. We had to redo it's not we have so you had it's taking time to do that. Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
We're starting.
Yeah, but I mean, like right now.
Hello, Stella. If you didn't hear that, let's do it again. Hello, Stella. Welcome, welcome everyone to Drury University in Springfield, Missouri for NITOC 2016. Are we excited? It's so great to see all of you here today. We've been praying for you. I'm Joanne Coleman, and I'm honored and humbled to serve as your tournament director for NITOC 2016. Do you know why you're here today? You're here today because it's to celebrate your 2015-2016 year of speech and debate achievements. That is what you're doing here. So give yourselves and your peers a rousing round of applause. We applaud you. Okay, I promise I'm not running for president, but I feel like this is a rally. I just want to congratulate each and every one of you for all that you've already achieved. We know it wasn't always easy, was it? There were detours along the way, maybe losses, disappointments, struggles and challenges. But you persevered, didn't you? And you didn't give up. You set goals and you strive for excellence. You are here to celebrate that fruit of your labor. As you can see, even from our decorations with the track and the cupcakes, from start to finish, our tournament theme is training and running for Christ. And 1 Timothy 4:8 is our verse. Physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come. In fact, we want all of you to take some time to put a sticky note on the track that's on the wall over there and share with us your journey and how you trained and how you ran in order to come here to NITOC 2016. My prayer for you this week is that starting today and throughout the week, you will run and train for Christ, not only in your speech and debate rounds, but especially in your desire to be one with Him. If you have a tough round, instead of knocking yourself or your partner, or complaining about the other team, stop for a moment and think, what is God trying to show me? If you see someone sitting by him or herself at lunch, instead of walking by, consider introducing yourself and sitting with a potential new friend. If you find yourself wanting to complain and get frustrated anytime things don't go your way, and if you've been to enough tournaments, you know a lot of things don't go our way. But if that happens, if you feel like complaining, don't. Instead, stop, take a deep breath, pray, and pray more until that feeling goes away. If you're having an awesome time, instead of taking it for granted, show gratitude to those who have helped make this a great experience for you. Debate and speech is what got you here to NITOC, but the experience will be what you make it to be. You'll have great competition, you'll have great fellowship, you'll have a great time continuing your training and your running for Christ, and you'll have great opportunities to experience God in real and personal ways. Right now, for our opening prayer and welcome from the STOA board, I'd like to introduce to you the president of STOA, Mr. Mark Russell.
Thank you, Joanne. It's so exciting to have each and every one of you here. I know that we've still got people traveling, coming to STOA and to NITOC. I think by Tuesday morning, these stands will be full of people and competitors. So thank you for those that are here, and pray for those that are still en route and that are coming. That's going to be important to us. Thank you for being a part of the STOA family this year. It has been an exciting year, 96 tournaments I think I've had, and that's thanks to each and every one of the local clubs that put that on. Please give yourself a round of applause for having 96 tournaments. Joanne mentioned it's a celebration, and it truly is. I thought a little bit today, and of course the last 2 or 3 weeks, if you follow different sports and different things in the world, the last 2 or 3 weeks has been what? It's the culmination of thoroughbred racing. And so the Kentucky Derby ran 2 weeks ago Saturday, and then yesterday was the Preakness, and we have one more Belmont. So last year we had a Triple Crown winner that won all 3. This year we're not going to have that. We've had a horse named Nyquist that won the Derby, and then yesterday Nyquist didn't quite make it. A horse named Exaggerator won the Preakness. So this week, I think all of you that are here competing, it's just like these horses. They had to compete somewhere else and win in order to get to the Triple Crown. So to me, the first few days are the first leg of the Triple Crown, and the next few days are the next leg, and then the final day is the last leg of the Triple Crown. So just getting to that is, to me, a phenomenal accomplishment, not only for you as competitors, but also the sacrifice that your parents and your family and your clubs have made to help you get here. So give your families and those clubs that round of applause right now. So we have a lot of things lined up for the week, a lot of fun things lined up for the week. I've already had somebody talk to me about Lost and Found. We're going to put it up there in the help desk area where it says Hall of Fame. You look up there, there's also going to be an area in the student lounge area. But if you find something, I think we're already missing a sweater. Someone's missing a long sleeve white sweater that disappeared from their car to here. So if you picked it up or you've seen it laying somewhere, get it up there. We appreciate it. You know, Drury has been phenomenal as a location to work with for NITOC. And if, in order to, you know, and you're hear a lot about the scholarships all week from not only Drury but other places, but you do need to stop down here sometime. If it's not tonight, it needs to be this week. But you're close here, go ahead and let them know you're interested and everything. And I think that you'll be amazed at the offers that are going to start to be coming in through our relationships with our different universities. Thank you so much, Drew. So the board, you know, we've got our board here with the exception of, we've got two board members that are not here, John Ike and Robert Kong, but the rest of our board members are here. We sincerely want you to see us, meet us, greet us, introduce yourself to us throughout the week. And if you have ideas, we are open to the ideas, the visions that you have, because it's your visions that help us create our visions to try to help move this into a bigger and better league than what we have now. So I don't want to say much more other than it's been a great year. We're looking forward to it. We have some exciting announcements at the end of this week regarding resolutions and all kinds of exciting things and locations for next year's NITOC, and I think we're even going to talk to you about 2 years from now. So that's pretty exciting, where we're already starting to think that far ahead. So if you can join me in prayer, then we'll get started. Dear most Heavenly Father, thank you for the immense amount of time and effort and dedication that each and every one of those that are here and each and every one of those that stayed home have put into making this a week to remember. Please be with us, guide us and direct us, lead us, and that we know that we're doing things for you. And continue to be in the hearts of all those that are involved in glorifying you. We ask you all these things in your name. Amen. All right. We now, I think, we have a fun thing lined up. And so we're going to go ahead and get our board members and some of our speech chair, Debbie Snyder and Mary Winter, our debate chair. We've kind of had a little fun thing putting together, and so we're going to share with you, maybe, it may not be exactly like a board meeting, but we think it might be, yeah, it might be something to give you a little bit of fun and levity for what we've been doing. So as we have board meetings, and I don't know if you understand this, but we have face-to-face board meetings about 3 times or 4 times a year, but we have phone meetings once a week from about January on, and before that it was about every 2 weeks and sometimes every single week in the fall as well. So we've had lots of time together, and you know, we have people on the West Coast and we have people on the East Coast, and so we have an interesting thing when we say, well, we're going to have a 2 to 3 hour conference call. Craig gets home from work and we're pushing him to get home from work at 6, and Debbie's sitting there on the East Coast at 9 waiting for us to get on the phone, right? And there's everything in between. So Craig, when he hangs up at 9 o'clock at night and it's midnight for Debbie, it's been an interesting week. But we've had a great time. We worked hard, and so anyway, we wanted to bring maybe a little twist I guess, to what our thing is. So we're gonna let you all sit in on, or kind of listen to what maybe a board meeting might look like, and a glimpse of maybe something behind the scenes. As you know, it's never too late to really start prepping for next year. And I know some of you may already be prepping for next year because you've already seen some of the resolutions that might be going on, and you're thinking, well, I think I know which one it's going to be, so I'm just going to start prepping for that. So everybody's already starting that, and we're even starting to think about wild cards and events like that. So even though NITOC's not over, you're already thinking of it. So we've even started talking about that too, and we kind of had some ideas within our group for maybe some different kinds of attitudes and different things that we could do next year for debate or wild cards. And we've had some success with changes in the past, like Harley, right? Anybody like Harley? And I don't know, but every tournament that I've been to, broadcasting is a rock star IE event, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to let Debbie say something.
I thought, well, maybe we should do duo broadcasting.
Well, that's interesting. Another duo event. That sounds kind of fun, doesn't it? Well, maybe we could come up with something completely different. And, you know, Carly's been so well received, and people love that fast action and that interaction and some of kind of that spicy kind of debate that we've done, you know, in team policy and Lincoln Douglas. But, you know, many of you don't know, but I grew up and I was a roper. I rode horses and I ropes. And so I think maybe, could we add maybe an element of roping to debate? What do you think? Well, so maybe it's duo roping, or let's say the other team is maybe making a statement that's starting to sway the judges and you don't like it. So if you got a rope, maybe you could rope them and drag them back into the debate, right?
What do you think of duo roping? Yeah. Well, I have another idea. All of you out there actually turned in your scripts for electronic script submission, so give yourself a hand. So no more being nervous that your scripts aren't going to pass. They're in process, they're in there. So then I thought of another idea. So what do you guys think of this? We just changed the timing rules where there is no time. They're just, anybody can speak as long as they want, and we'll just entertain the judges like that. What do you think? We can use these timers, and the kids can make toss games. No more timers. I like that, Debbie. That's great. You know, when you think on the debate side, you know, we want some dual events, those sound really fun, but we for a long time people think debate's a little bit boring. We want to spice it up a little bit. And a few years ago, there was a proposal for visual business presentations, and you know, that would be fun to have to expose, but we want that in debate. You know, we could have PowerPoint in debate. What do you think? Like, just go through our slides, and the real added benefit of this is we're going to dim those lights, and then all those judges, they can take their naps. And then everybody will want to judge, right?
Okay, you know, how about duo business visual presentation? Duo. Nice. You know, our speakers are very talented. It's amazing. I think this blow me away. They do way better than we do, clearly. But I feel like there's one thing that we're missing, and it's just that there's a dying art of joke telling. So if we would do like joke telling, and have them do like 2 or 3 jokes. But I got an idea too, because you know, some people don't like to get into the old speech ones because they're just a little bit, you know, uptight. So we're going to help our debate folks and maybe some of those, you know, hardcore DI types. We're gonna give them a prop, and then they can. So, and do you want to see how this looks? all right, let's tell you how this works. Okay. So this guy goes to the psychiatrist and says, Doc, I think I'm going crazy. Sometimes I think I'm a tricycle. Sometimes I think I'm a TV. Sometimes I think I'm a wigwam. And the psychiatrist says, well, it's easier, 2 tanks. So the next day the guy goes and says, I'm having these terrible dreams, nightmares all night long, where tricycles and bicycles are driving across me all night long. And the psychiatrist says, oh, it's easy, you're a psychopath. And then, the next day, the guy goes to the dentist and says, Doc, I think I'm going crazy. I think I turned into a moth. And the dentist goes, well, why are you here? The psychiatrist is next door. And he says, yeah, but your light was on.
Well, I love this idea, Craig. This is really great. You know what would make it better? Duo joke telling. Duo joke telling would definitely make it. But you know, I'm thinking about debate. And I think maybe in debate, maybe we should make it a little more literal, you think? Literal? You mean like classic literature in debate? Well, that's a great idea, Murray, but I was kind of thinking along the lines of, you know, when the debater has this great idea, this great argument they want to present, but they just can't quite figure out what words to put out there and how to make it sound right, and they're kind of tap dancing around. Actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we could just have them dog tap shoes and then actually tap dance a little. Fantastic! I love it! Okay, wait a minute. I've got an idea here. What about duo tap dancing? Yeah! You know, I'm for anything that jazzes up the speeches. I just really like to help us explain things clearly to the judges, so it really makes sense. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a new idea. What about illustrated speaking? Oh, yeah. So we give the kids a pen, and we give them like a dry erase board, and they can show the judge exactly what they're talking about.
So all these ideas are good, but they have a common theme. You know what would be better than just illustrated speaking? Absolutely. Well, folks, we hope we don't have to do-over this skit, but we've had a fun time sharing with you a little bit of levity, and you know, we thoroughly enjoyed doing this for you. It's fun. It kicks off the week, having fun, celebrating, and so thank you guys, every one of you, for doing that. Thank you. So next, I would like to make an introduction and a welcome from our wonderful friends at Drury. Dr. Steve Combs, the Executive Vice President and Provost of Drury University, debated. He's a debater at the University of Southern California, where he won 19 debate tournaments and placed second or third at 17 more, including second place at his national debate tournament 2 years in a row. Awesome. Dr. Combs retired with 440 wins, making him the winningest debater in intercollegiate debate history. So we are excited Dr. Combs is here. Please give him a warm Stoa welcome. Thank you. Every day, university students are thriving, connecting the classroom to community, community to service, service to experience, and experience to fun. Drury University, because now is your time to thrive.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to see so many smart people in one place. And the students are pretty sharp too. It is a pleasure to welcome you to Springfield and our beautiful campus here at Prairie University. We have people from all over the country here, and we're grateful that you're able to join us. I know you're going to have an unforgettable time. I myself am California born and raised, and there are many people here from the far west. Listen, before you leave this tournament, I suspect you will experience an unusual weather event. Sometime in the next few days, drops of water will spontaneously fall from the sky, moistening everything around you. Now in the Ozarks, we call that rain. I assure you it is not harmful, and we are well equipped to deal with it. Now for you families and friends out there supporting your students, I want to assure you that you made a great decision. Numerous surveys over the years have demonstrated that a large number of Supreme Court justices, members of Congress, and leaders of business debated in high school and or college. I went to college on a debate scholarship, and I use my debate skills every day on the job. Of course, now there are limitations on your use of persuasive argumentation. And as fun as it might be for you students, your folks and some of your friends won't necessarily appreciate it when you three-point everything they say at the house. So when somebody says, take out the trash, think twice before you launch in with, I shouldn't have to take the trash out today for 3 reasons. Number 1, the can is only half full, we should wait another week. Number 2, it's not my turn, I did it last week. Number 3, it's Wednesday, but the trash doesn't get picked up until Friday. Remember, debaters, there is a time and a place for everything, and if this sounds a bit like you, be mindful of the situation. Good news. It is the time, and this is the place for you to bring your debate and speech skills front and center.
Yes.
Enjoy the tournament, and good luck to all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Missouri. This is Kerry. I'm Ron Beeman. We are the facilities coordinators for this evening. I assure you that we have worked tirelessly leading up to this event. And I say that only to have you look at us with pity and appreciation for all that we've done. Thank you. And just a few points that we would like to share with you. For one of the most important issues this week is going to be parking. We have a very nice parking area right here for our community judges. Everything else is for you. Community judges, you. Just so that we're clear. We have these marked appropriately, so if it doesn't say community judge, you should probably be parking there. And if it does say community judge, you should probably keep driving. Okay, so that we're clear on that. There are a few areas we do not want you to park in. Drury Lane, right out here. I know it's going to be very tempting because you can drive right in here and get out of your car and walk into the building. But please resist the temptation. Do not park in Drury Lane or Burnham Circle. We are trying to reserve that area for Drury people. They have students, prospective students coming in, and we want to make sure that they have a place to park. So do not park in Drury Lane or Burnham Circle. Do not park here on the south end of O'Reilly Center. Basically anywhere else you can park. Okay. Security. We have a roving band of militants. I mean, we have a security team that will be here throughout the week, parading about in brightly colored vests, much like a flock of peacocks. So, if you have any security concerns or issues, if it's dark at night and you need someone to help you, flag one of them down. They should be walking around with flashlights at night. They should be walking around during the day. By all means, flag them down and let me have to do. While we're on the subject of security, keep track of your belongings. This obviously is not a walled-in campus. Anybody can walk through here, so we want to make sure that you go home with all the things that you can. Now,
although we did get a lot of really cool stuff last year. So if you want to leave my pads, I'm all for that.
so basically any nice technological equipment you want to leave around, we'll be glad to take. You could make it easier for us just by bringing it to us so that we don't have to hunt it down. Just another thing. Okay. Facility equipment. So I know that there is nothing more painful than trying to resist the urge of touching the board when you see a big board with an electronic screen that looks like it's meant to be touched.
I did this yesterday.
That's true. I may have done this yesterday. That's how I know how hard it is to resist the urge. We would ask you to be stronger than I, and when it comes to Drew University equipment, no touchy. And now, posting locations, something that I'm sure you all really want to hear about. We're going to have several posting locations, and for your information, they will be located thusly. Inside of Hutchins, which will be the student hangout area, we'll have postings there. We will have postings just outside the Olin Library on the wall, centrally located in the Burner Circle. We will have postings down at the Trustee Science Center because we all understand it's a fair walk down there. So we want to make sure we know where to go afterwards. On Monday and Tuesday only, we will have postings in Central High School, for those of you who are debating over in Central High School. Also during meal times, we will have postings in the Finley Dining Commons. So that should be ample opportunities for you to look at postings and know where you need to go. There will also have the app that you can use to find out where you need to go. We have maps, we have signage everywhere. I don't think you're going to have a problem finding where you need to go. We would ask you to go there very promptly. We are using one of the tightest schedules that we've ever had at a national tournament. So we need you guys to help us keep things moving and on schedule. Everybody wants to be here at midnight. So keep it moving. If you have questions, we'll have people all around campus. There will also be postings in each building for that particular building. And we will have staff wearing big greenish yellow buttons. If you have any questions, please ask them. And I think that's all. Thank you for coming and welcome to NITOC. Welcome everybody. I am David Kinley and I am your fearless tab director. For those of you out there who don't know what tab is, I think the next slide kind of shows you how we do it. That's how it works. If you go over there, we have one of those boards up, and that's how we figure results. Just kidding. Actually, we have a lot of computers. If you go to the next one, and that's what the tab room looks like. You know, it's the most high-speed modern thing you can possibly imagine. But the real story is in the next slide. This is what we really do. Okay. So anyway, when you're working a tab, you just have to dress down because it's hard to get out of the banana suit real quick and change into suit ties. Okay, so let's talk about tabs. So the tab team this year is composed of the tab directors all around the country. So there's nobody in there that doesn't really know what they're doing. So that is such a blessing to me to have a bunch of people that really ready to help out and know what they're doing from all parts of the country. Let's talk about speech. Okay, prelims. The thing that'll be different, not different from what's on the website or what we normally do in NITOC, is the top speech competitors in each event will be broken up based on the number of room rooms that we have. So if there's 10 rooms, we'll take the top 10 speakers based on speech ranks in that event and spread load them in all 3 rounds. So it's kind of like power matching and debate. So if you rose to the top in speech ranks in that speech event, you will not have the number 2 person in the country in your room until we go to outrounds. So we really like that. Okay, let's talk about outrounds for a second. We tried to break above 40% in all the initial quarterfinals. So a lot of them were actually almost 50%. We went to a round number. So if you had, don't ask me to do public math because I'll probably mess it up. The bottom line is it's in between 40 and 50% of those of you who broke, who are going to break based on that speech event. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about debate. This is a change from last year. Are not using speech ranks to do the first round, the first 2 rounds. We are doing random pairing in the very first round, and then we are going to do power matching from round 2 through 6. From that point on, it's a new tournament. We will get a ranking of the top 64 out of that prelim rounds, and then you will be placed and you will be matched, 1 against 64 and 2 against 63, on down until you get to the middle, and then we'll be doing double elimination. So in that very first round, there'll be 64 teams competing. 32 will receive a loss. They'll jump down into the bottom bracket. So you're guaranteed to at least do 2 out rounds. They'll all come together in the end, and then there'll be 4 competitors left. The 4 competitors will be ranked based on where they ended up in that out round bracket. So if you're 2 competitors left in the top of the winners bracket, you will be ranked number 1 and number 2, so you will not have to go against each other in that very first round. One will go on the top of the semi-final bracket, and the other one will go on the bottom of it. So you might hit each other again in the final, but you will not each other again in that first round. I think, a couple more things. As you know, State Protect has been removed, and Club Protect extends from the first through the 4th round. It used to be only just the first 2 rounds, but now it's 1 through 4. So no State Protect and Club Protect will be in there from 1 through 4. We had numerous teams, or numerous competitors that are really on the same team, but the way speech ranks is structured, it might appear we have tried to combine who we thought we have, let's see, for example, irons sharpens iron. We have iron sharpening iron, we have iron sharpens iron, we have ISI, and we have iron sharpening iron in parentheses ISI. So we have tried to combine all those things. So especially in the debate round, if you can let us know that if you're going against a competitor in your club in that first round, I'm sorry, but you're kind of stuck with it, but we'll change it for the second round, but you gotta let us know. Like I said, we tried to combine the clubs as best we could, but it's a little confusing in speech ranks because there's so many variations of the same club, somebody writing down a different name for the same club. So just let us know, so we'll do that in a second. And I think that is it. We have an open tab room policy. That doesn't mean you come in and find out how you did. However, if there is an issue, bring it up to the tournament director, and she will talk to me, and if there's something that we have to let people know, that we will. We're open. You get the cues at the end of the tournament, and get that matrix. So you will have all that at the end of the tournament. Thank you.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Melissa Lux from Texas, your ballot gift. And as you can see, we need you. Congratulations on getting to NITOC. If you could see all the behind-the-scenes work that has gone on, you would know that you are the most loved people on the planet. And I really hope this week that you feel that love. Here we go. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I like to call ballot give. It's called ballot give and not ballot push, because we're not pushy people, right? No, maybe. We are the givers. And I guess that would make ballot collect the takers? No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Stephanie Gillette. Okay, but we really are pushy people, don't ask my boys. As a matter of fact, this week we will give and give and give and give you as many ballots as you'd like. The ballot give staff this week are my superheroes. There's about 33 of them. And if you are one of those Wonder Women or Supermen, I would really like for you to stand just for a moment, please. Thank you, thank you. Yes, they do deserve because they work really, really hard. Thank you so much. You are my superheroes. They have come to you from all over the country. Our number one priority, as you heard, is to run on time. We are doing that so that you can be as well rested as possible so that you can do your best. Our number two priority is to get our competitors lots of new feedback. Feedback that won't only make them the best in STOA, but will make you the best speakers and debaters in the world. Thank you. So we're going to try to get you as much different feedback from all over the country. Wouldn't it be great if our California students got some ballots, that's right, thank you, from our Pennsylvania judges? Or what about our Tennessee students going home with some ballots from Hawaii? See, because normally during the normal year, that's just too cost prohibitive, but not at NITOC. At NITOC, we're all in this together. Okay, we're gonna do that again later. Okay, so it can happen, and we need you to do it. So when you come to the ballot gift table, which will be right over here, and there is someone that you've already judged maybe a lot of times, please just ask us for a different one. I'm sure we'll have a big stack. So we don't want a competitor to walk into the room and say to themselves, oh, it's Mrs. Lux. She loves me. I can just sit back and relax now. Or, oh, it's Mrs. Lux, and I made fun of her crazy hat. Uh-oh. I don't want them to be thinking anything like that. What I want when you walk into your rooms, and the only thing I want on your mind is to go kill that speech. Okay? So, my fabulous alumni who have signed up and who have come all this way to judge for us, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I hope that you only know how much your ballots will be treasured by the people who get them, and they will look at them for years to come. So, but please remember not to judge anybody that you competed against for the same reason. Wouldn't it be great for the competitors to get new feedback that might shape the course of their lives? What if some new judge they've never had before said, I can see you running some Fortune 500 company someday. And you know what, 10 years from now, you may see that judge again and say, I did it. And it was partly because of what you said. So you just really never know, guys, how your words will affect someone's life. There's just one more little thing I need to say before they take me off the stage, is that on Wednesday, it is, as Donald Trump would say, huge. Our need is huge. It is huge, enormous, grandiose, massive. Okay, we're gonna need 200 judges for each of the first 4 rounds. So the first round we need 200, the second round we need 200, the third round we need 200, and so on. It goes like that back to back to back. We have a little over 400 parents here, right? And it's Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week. It's hard for community judges. So I will need everybody, please, 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 on Wednesday morning for the first round to come and take a ballot from me. You will get a ballot. And then if you're judging the first round, I also need you to judge the third round. So the people who are judging the first, you're off the hook for the second and the fourth, but the people who are off the hook for the first and the third are on the hook for the second and the fourth, please. We need you. Right? We need you. That's the only way that these fabulous competitors are going to get the feedback that they deserve and they have worked so hard for. Because we're all in this together. All in this together. All right. Thank you, good luck, and go rock your NITOC.
So, no hat, sorry guys. Back to debate. I just want to briefly go over with you a few pointers and reminders, because I know a lot of parents here and alumni, you've judged thousands of rounds, and you've probably judged thousands before the week is up. We mentioned Wednesday morning, that's all I remember, Wednesday morning. But I just want to give you a couple reminders. So even though you've gone through judge orientation, and I guess I'll backtrack, if you have not gone through judge orientation, at the top of the stairs next to the Hall of Fame, we will be offering judge orientation, things like round the clock. So catch one of those if you do not feel you're adequate. But if you've been to orientation before, we have just a couple quick reminders for you. You can get that slide up there on some things that probably you've heard before, but these are just kind of the key things we want to remind you. The first is to set aside your personal opinion. Sometimes when you're in a debate round, you think, well, you know, yeah, maybe that sounds good, but I kind of think it is the other way. Remember, judge the round on what happens in the round. So set aside your personal bias. Another advent of new technology is checking facts on our phones. And I think because we've gotten so used to doing it in our day-to-day lives, it's easy as judges and parents when you're sitting in a debate round and some student told you some fact, and it's easy to like pull out that phone, or maybe as you're walking to the ballot returner, which will be right down here, and you think, I'm just going to look at that and see if that student's right. Sorry, we don't want you to do that. That doesn't mean you have to believe everything these brilliant students tell you. We want you to be discerning, but we don't want you to look up that information to see if it's right or wrong before you make your decision. So make your decision, and then if you're curious, you can sure look that up. But don't do that before you make your decision. Number 3, please do not allow the debaters to explain or extend arguments if you choose to review evidence. As a judge, you have that prerogative to look at evidence when the round is over. But don't ask the judge questions about it. If Mr. Tang was my debater, and I said, Mr. Tang, can I see that card from you? And he came up, and I looked at that card, and maybe I still have some questions about that argument. I'd say, Mr. Tang, can you tell me more, Or Mr. Tang, he's going to say, I'm sorry, Mrs. Winther, I'm not allowed to tell you anything else. I'm only allowed to give you that information. So that's how our students are trained. Yes, it's good. So we're training our students that way, but we want to make sure that our judges know that too, because it's awkward for our students when the judge wants to carry on the conversation or extend the debate round, but we don't want that to happen. So that's a good reminder as well. Number 4, Debate theory and Stoa rules are different things. If a debater claims a rules violation around, you're welcome to review the rules. We'll have some copies for you in here. But debate theory and the rules are two different things. And that goes real well into my point number 5, since this is a 5-point response here, is be aware of regional differences. We all come from different parts of the country, and guess what? We all debate differently. It's not that we debate wrongly, we debate differently. And because it's all different, you may go to judge around, and this applies to the competitors too, you may be debating around, and somebody does something different. That doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean it's against the rules. It means, wow, I just saw something different. It might be something great that you want to do, maybe not, but it doesn't mean it's against the rules. So make sure we have a lot of grace with one another, and we keep those regional differences into account. And finally, please fill out your ballot in the judgery, which is down here. You know, there's a sweet mom in my club, but she takes those ballots to lunch all the time. You know, go take your ballot to lunch. As much as you love the ballot, leave it here before you go to lunch. We ask you to do that. I have just a couple of things to tell the party debaters, just a couple housekeeping events. So just one second here. Hopefully you have all read the party protocol document. Say yes, Mrs. Winther, we all read that document that's on the website. Party procedure, how it will work this year will look very different than it did last year. And we're depending on all of you to have read that before you show up at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Please read through that document. We are using the high school, which we have been blessed to be able to use for this tournament. It's a gorgeous facility. It's across the street. Before you leave today, it might be a good idea to just drive by it so you know where it is. The war room that we call will be where we do the announcements. It will be in the main lobby of that high school. We have a big, beautiful room in there. We will also be doing the announcements electronically, so that's a first for NITOC this year. So Mrs. Ames and I, we got this down. I got the papers, and she's got the magic button that she's going to push, and we're going to have electronic announcement that will happen exactly the same time as we do the paper announcement. All the details on that are in that sheet as well. What's a little interesting, though, is when we're over in the high school, we have one Wi-Fi password or code. When you're on the Drury campus, you have a different one, okay? Some of your competition rooms will be in the high school, some will be on the Drury campus. So we'll notice that on the postings, but don't be, you could be working on your prepping in one part and you walk up to the other building or the other across the street, literally, with the crossing guard and supplied for you. And you might also notice your Wi-Fi is different. There are 2 different Wi-Fi's. We have lots of signs around telling you what those are. And one little thing that Mr. McCollum didn't mention was in Parliament we are not doing double elimination. That is the only form of debate that's staying traditional in the single elimination format. So we'll be breaking the top 32 teams, and at that point it's the traditional term of single elimination. So I did want to mention that. Quickly to remind you, even though we're doing it electronically in the preliminary rounds, when we get to the out rounds of party, we will do a traditional face-to-face, y'all have to show up, okay? And at that point in the tournament, parties will be down to trustee, which is, I think it's this direction, right? Yeah, turn around. It's kind of on the edge of campus. The trustee building, that's where the room will be, that's where those out rounds will be for party as well. And at that point, we will move to a 2-strike system, and we need all the competitors there in the room, so it's not an electronic situation at that point. You need to show up in the room for that. I believe those are all my announcements. I'm really excited to have all of you here and looking forward to a great week. Thank you so much.
So our friends on the speech committee have asked me to come up and speak about speech stuff, and I think it's because they're shy. Isn't that ironic? The speech committee are a little bit shy. So I'm happy to do that for them. Also, while we have a chance, it really is truly amazing that you came here today and you picked up nice things and you picked up meal tickets and you didn't have to stand in line to turn in your script. So let's hear it for the speech committee. Back to work. I got notes here. There's some slides up there to help me out. Isn't that nice? Before I forget about things, I'm going to talk about extempors. If you go on the NITOC 2016 website, which is great, everything you need to know about this happy tournament is on there. So a lot of work goes into those websites, and a lot of things that you might wonder about are on there. So there is a tab for extempors, all right? So check out that tab. It's going to tell you that on Tuesday at noon in the Olin Library is going to be a mandatory meeting for all extempors. And then also on that tab, it'll tell you if you're a speech competitor only, if you're a TP, LD, or a party person, it will tell you specifically what day to set up your thing, what time to bring in your laptops or your boxes if you're working with boxes. So check that out, okay? So TP debaters are going to be everybody again, noon, Tuesday, everybody, but then there's specific times for you to come in and bring in your equipment. Let's talk about time for a little bit. One of our favorite things on those ballots is that element of time. And I just want to remind folks that there is no mandatory, let me see, I got this right here. Oops. There are no mandatory, no minimums, no maximums. Mandatory. We have maximum time. It's listed there, but it is not. It's not a matter of it being a penalty spot. So each event has a different target time on the ballot, and well, again, while there's no minimums, there are maximums. Just use that as an element as you would judging anything else. If it's talking about the quality of literature or some of the different things in presentation, time is one of the elements you'll use to judge around, but it's not the end all right? So that's the reminder of that. And as well as that, just a reminder, you have the judges, those amazing timers. If you haven't signed up for timers yet, come see Mrs. Magnus down here at the table. And they're going to give you 2 minutes, 2 minutes between each speaker. That's why you take apologetics, because you get 4 minutes automatically that way. So they're going to give you these 2 minutes to fill things out. And now let's talk about these wild cards a little bit. Wild cards, we're always getting used to these. Each year we kind of find out how these events turn out. With monologue, I want to remind you that this is an interpretive event from the view of a single character rather than multiple characters. That makes sense. That's what we call it, monologue. As in all interpretive events, the student may or may not be looking at you for a direct eye contact. That depends on their interpretation of the piece. So keep that in mind. With motivational speaking, again, it's an 8-minute speech. And it may differ from what sometimes you're used to. There may not be the 3 points. It may be a little more free-flowing. They have a script that they've turned in, but they can go off script depending on what's going on in that room. So again, it's an original piece of work, and they can use a prop. So when they pull out a clown nose or something like that, don't be too surprised. All right? Also want to cover apologetics, remind people about apologetics, and a little bit about Mars Hill here. And that is, with apologetics, there are a lot of questions. Well, we know here, it's apologetics, thoughtful, intellectual analysis of a question. And what a great event, right? It's an amazing event we have our sons and daughters do. It's so fantastic. We are going to put that speech in a way together that is aimed at a person who's asked an intelligent question and wants an intelligent answer. That person asking the question that they've drawn out of that envelope is not someone who is necessarily in agreement. They might be curious, but they are not on the same spot the speaker is. So our speakers, remember, draft that as if you're speaking to someone who is interested but doesn't necessarily agree with you. And the last bullet up there about apologetics being it may or may not actually end up being something to lends itself as a presentation of the gospel. So that the judge needs to decide if the competitor has properly answered the question drawn. All right? And a real quick word about Mars Hill. Mars Hill, we love this event. It's one that's just totally unique to STOA. And the students are going to not actually, they're going to make it feel like a dialogue, but they're not actually going to converse with you. And their presentation might be very open-ended, and it may not necessarily have a definitive answer to the question. Again, they're going to be using cultural references to talk about how that outside pop culture thing can relate to Christianity and explain why that subject matters. Great event, super wonderful event, and looking forward to seeing how our happy speakers who have made it here to NITOC, congratulations all of you, see how you do in these events. Thank you very much.
I think we're going to do a duo. Actually, I have a point of information that I really forgot. It's really, really important. So I'm hijacking your speech. It is okay to prep a team and judge that same round. Okay? That question comes up a lot of times. So you may both prep Harley teams and you may judge. Obviously, you can't judge that same team. But you can judge the same round in which you have prep. Okay? Just wanted to know. Until semis. Okay? Okay. Howdy, I'm Mel Ray from Texas, y'all. So glad to be here. And I like to talk. I like to communicate, really. So Joanne asked me to be over communications for NITOC, and I'm kind of a little bit techie. So I included a little bit of mobile app stuff, and we've got some other fun tech stuff happening this weekend. So if you take a look at the board, I'm not going to read all this to you. I'm just going to put it up here for you to take a look at. We have a Stoa mobile app. Everybody have it? If you have a smartphone, use the app. This is going to be a key form of communication for us throughout the weekend. Even something like, hey, Harley Resonance has been postponed 15 minutes. That's going to go to your phone. So tell your friends, share it. Here's how you can download it. We have QR codes posted around. If you know what that is, you can use one. Otherwise, just go to the link. Okay? Be sure you turn on your push notifications so that you can hear from us. Next slide talks about how to share. It's really easy to share it. You can go right there, click on the information, and share it right from your phone to your partner if they're having trouble finding the information. Okay, next. So Stoa's gone social. If you Twitter, if you tweet, if you do any of the above, here's how you can get in touch with us. Here's how you can tag us so we can all see what's going on. Next slide. We talk fast in Texas, y'all. Okay, you probably already have this. Everybody has this on their ballot, their envelope. There's a sticky. We've posted this everywhere all over campus, but here it is again, just in case. And remember what Ms. Winter said, if you're Harley, if you're over in Central High School, it's a different Wi-Fi, but there's no password. Okay, so you just hop on the SPS hotspot over in Central. Next slide. So I also get to play way up there in the Hall of Fame. Everybody look up. See the Hall of Fame? Woo! I've got waivers. I've got a fantastic team that's going to be up there all weekend, and our job is to help you. We're going to communicate. If you have a problem, we'll communicate that problem to the right person. If you have a question, we'll communicate to you, hopefully the answer. If we don't know, we'll find out. So if you've lost something, come look there. If you need a Band-Aid, we have a first aid kit. We have golf carts that can help get judges to their rooms. If you need help with that, we can help show you where your room is. If you don't want a golf cart ride, just ask us. Where to go? On your mobile app, there is an icon for, it's called Room Legend, has a question mark or a question mark. We have tricky rooms there. Anything that I thought you might have had a hard time finding, it's there. If you find anything this weekend that you think, hey, everybody ought to know about this, let me know. If there's a room that's hard to find, if there's something, let me know. We can get it there. We can add it very easily. All right? So come find us. Come ask us. There's a phone number, posted around campus, we'll get you taken care of. Thank you. I just have a few reminders before we close for the evening so you can go have some dinner and have an early evening so that you're rested up and refreshed for tomorrow. If any of you parents or students did not go through check-in, please do so before you leave tonight. We have a crew that's going to be in back of me, in back of these curtains, so you'll be able to get all your packets and check your events and so forth. If any of you were missing or had wrong name tags, and you went up to Leslie Martin and she made one for you, they will be up there at the help desk at the Hall of Fame. So please pick them up tonight as well. It was great that the speech committee and the debate committee all gave you a brief glimpse of the judges' orientation. But if any of you feel like you'd like to know a little bit more about it, or if you feel like in your community, your orientations are different from what you think is going to be here at NITOC, we invite any and all of you throughout the week to please go to the orientations will be up there near the Hall of Fame, because that way you'll know how judges are being informed and oriented. And we want all of you parents to feel very informed and comfortable and confident in giving the best balance that you can to all of our students. Tomorrow, Monday morning, starting at 7 o'clock, if you haven't had a chance to meet some of our board members and you'd like to, they're going to be here. 7 a.m. I'm going to repeat that. They're going to be here. 7 a.m.
7? We'll be here, sure, with coffee.
With coffee. So please join them. I will be here as well. We'd love to meet you. Then at 7:30, before the first round gets going, we're going to come together and we're going to actually have announcements, but also a devotion and a prayer before we get started for the day. And then the first party round begins at 8 a.m. Yes, all of you know that. That's wonderful. And finally, I just want to let you know, do you see this table with all the cupcakes? They're for all of you. So even if you've had one or two or more, we're not counting, we'd love for you to take some with you so that it's an empty table. Okay? This is all for you, and we really want to celebrate with you. Today, before all of you came to check in, our NITOC tournament team and the Stowe board, we all came together and actually we sang worship songs together, including, well, this is going to show my age because this is what came to me this morning, but these songs come from the 20th century. So some of you may know, okay? As we gather, and steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. I will celebrate. Do you know that one? I will celebrate. That one. Okay, maybe not. How about this one? Lord, I lift your name on high. Yes? And you are my all in all. And I really just felt so uplifted singing it with all the people who are serving you at this tournament. All these songs are about the Lord. We give this tournament to Him because it's about Him and it's for Him. And I think a lot of you know, Lord, I lift your name on high. This was not planned, but I'm going to have all of us sing it together. So if you please join me. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way, from the earth to the cross, my debt to pay. Cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. One more time. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way, from the earth to the cross, my debt to pay. From the earth to the grave, from the grave to the sky, Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I lift your name on high.
So we've got a great start to a week. Speaking boldly, changing the world for Christ. For from him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Couple extra announcements before we leave. I had the cupcake thing on my list too, Janine. So, grab some cupcakes. We don't need you to eat them here on this carpet. I'm the cupcake Nazi. Get them up off the carpet because Drew wants us to keep the cupcakes off the carpet. Thursday night. As soon as you're through competing, right outside these doors, we're going to have a social going on. We have live music. We're going to have some line dancing. We're going to have popsicles. We're going to have a great time. So come, get ready to relax and have a great time. There's a band that we know very closely called Low Rent District. You're going to love them. They play all kinds of music. You're going to love them. Alumni. Where's my alumni? They're here. Let me hear it. Where's my alumni guys? Woo-hoo! All right, right before the social, alumni pizza party. I'm going to be there. I hope you're there too to eat some pizza with me. All right. Anybody from Springfield, from the Lighthouse game, stand up right now. Where's my Lighthouse people? Stand up, stand up, stand up. Thank these people for hundreds and hundreds of hours. Part of the reason we came to Springfield was because of this local club. So the last thing before we pray, I think it's in most of your packets. If you guys are looking for a place to eat this week, there's a place down by Bass Pro called Incredible Pizza. They do things other than pizza. There's lots of gaming going on. There's go-karts. There's all kinds of cool stuff. They're going to give us 20%. If you walk in and say, I'm with Stoa, they're giving us 20% of what you spend. So make it a point to go there. I don't think you have to have the thing in your hand, but just say, I'm here with Stoa. We get, so we should be able to get some benefit from that. So a little plug for Incredible Pizza. So if you can just join me in prayer, and then we'll be finished for the night. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning. And thank you for coming. Let's pray. Dear most Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings of each and every one of you. Please be with us this week. We ask you to guide us. We ask you to be with us. We ask you humbly to help us in everything that we endeavor to do for you. And I would just ask that may the Lord bless and keep each and every one of you, and the Lord make his face shine on you, and may the Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
The conditioning is really hard.